SHOT Show 2017 at the DSA Arms booth, and kind of stumbling around, and probably will be stumbling around a little more. Encountered Dave earlier. He directed me back over to the booth, and that's probably an interesting bit of gear. This is my personal one with the nice logo on the back. And we'll be talking to Lou, brother. How you doing?
Doing great.
Good deal. And Ken. Let me come back to Lou because I don't think yet. I'm doing this solo right now. My guy, he disappeared to go try and
multitasking. That's what we do.
He's like a kid in a candy store, and he said, "Hey, I need 2 hours to buy stuff." So, DSA Arms obviously has been around for a while.
Yes, sir. 30 years.
There was a transition when Fabrique Nationale, there was the importation thing, and actually that kind of launched DSA.
Yes.
And I understand you were kind of around at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And making some outstanding rifle platforms for the market. Now, obviously, you know, you'd have to be a real super knucklehead not to understand what we're going to be talking about right now. Apparently, there's a new project in the offing.
Yes, there is. So, about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, we started a new company, and basically it's called Second Amendment Brewery, DBA Gun Craft Beer. And for many years, my brother Dave and I talked about getting into the spirits or liquor industry somehow with something that has a firearm feel to it.
And that would be a natural flow because you've already got a relationship with ATF.
Yes. And it's interesting, the businesses are very similar in the way they're regulated also. So.
Yeah.
We kind of went back and forth for a bit on spirits, but I'm a craft beer guy, and that's where it landed. So here we are.
And that brings us to Ken
McMullen. Here.
Salute. And Lou, you sound and you sound like you're ready to salute too, brother.
Cheers.
Okay, there you go. You got the right name there for it.
We have to get something straight though. Whenever you're drinking a gun craft beer, you have to say what's on top here. You have to say, salute the red, white, and brew. Freedom you can taste. Proudly brewed in the U.S. of A here.
Yeah.
So that's one of our slogans, and just wanted to get it on camera.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, and this is all about just, people. I was going to say guys, but it's also ladies sometimes.
Yeah.
This is all about people just, experiencing, the Gear Challenge thing is about life, and it's about gear. And gear, as you know, Lou, I know you know, and Ken, you can tell, because we talked a little bit, right? Gear is about everything. It's what we've got over there. It's what we've got here. You guys probably have knives and flashlights on you too, and it's also about the beer because gear is some good beer.
Gear and beer.
Beer is some good gear. I'm butchering it, but that's what I do because I'm a knucklehead.
Gear and beer.
Gear and beer.
I like that. We have to do something with that.
Yeah. You can use it. Feel free. Just send me a 6-pack once a month.
Yeah.
So this has been a project that's been going on for about 2 years now.
Yes, and it's two separate companies. Basically, we're, I'm kind of the beer guy that's kind of helping Dave run this, and Ken is our brewmaster.
Right. And to delve over here,
yeah.
Ken. So you're a brewmaster. You've got a history of that, correct?
Yep. I've been brewing for over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And are you out of the Illinois area too?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Is this your first SHOT Show?
First time at SHOT Show. Let me tell you, blown away.
Really?
No idea the industry was.
When you walked in, did your eyes pop?
It's incredible.
I've had in the past. I've had first timers, and Lou knows what I'm talking about. I've had first timers walk in, and just coming into this area, they're like, "Wow!" And then I tell them, "Okay, well, there's like 4 more like this." And to watch the reaction is amazing. And you remember when we were? Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to get distracted. I was going to try not to get distracted with that. So. You remember when we were over at the convention center?
Yes.
Yeah, and when things blew out the last time I was there, they're setting up the temps, the temporary domes, like temporary hangars.
Golf domes. We call them golf domes.
Exactly. So, so this is a great location for it. And of course, I'm getting sidetracked because we've had a little bit of brew. To get back to Ken, this is a couple more. Well, heck, you got a 4-pack going on there, and actually,
these are actually machine gun links. This is. So if you're wondering what's holding these, we're hoping to be having these available for purchase on our website, guncraftbeer.com.
Yeah.
As well as eventually our tap handles. These are our tap handles. And we also had some glasses here, but someone just wanted to imbibe, I guess, and have a beer and decided to walk off with them.
Well, let's just call it what it is. It's called thievery. Thievery.
So anyhow, but the whole story with how this came to be, I'm going to come back to Ken here in a minute, is that, it's the beer has to be, this couldn't be a gimmick. It had to be just exceptional beer, and the whole process of trying to figure out how to get exceptional beer is a process. Many brewers we spoke with in advance of meeting Ken. We met Ken in 2015 on National Beer Day of all days.
National Beer Day.
April 7th, for those who don't know.
There you go.
So that's it. We started developing the beers. And
Lou's giving me an education. I didn't know it was National Beer Day. So there you go. What are you going to do?
So, we wanted to make sure we designed beers that, felt like America. It felt patriotic, felt like freedom. And it also had to have to do with the styles of beers fitting what it is. And, the Second Amendment Red IPA is all about it's a red IPA, and it's all about the bloodshed by Americans to protect our freedoms of this great country.
Okay, and on that note, I have to say, salute.
Yeah, salute. There we go. Cheers. Mine's gone. Anyways,
it's that was meant with all due respect, and quite frankly, the heart was in it, and I know that. But and that's what I have right now, and I got to say that it is a very tasty red IPA.
And to throw, again, it really started out with Dave wanting to make an FAL beer.
That's what he mentioned earlier when I talked to him.
And then we said we have to develop this product line of something that's going to feel American and feel patriotic, and that's how it all developed. And then we went to America's sweetheart, the M4 rifle, and then who doesn't want to be tactical? All right, come on, you got to be tactical.
Got to be honest. Well, I hate the word. I even pop off about it. Tactical. It's called tactical cool, or another thing that we used to some of my guys. Well, I'm sure you're familiar with Tactical Tony. Tactical. I'm going to slur now. Tactical Tony touts. He's always touting about the latest, greatest, whatever. Which brings me to a key point. I understand this is a team effort, right? Okay. You have been developing this beer line for 2 years.
Yeah.
So to go to the point that I think you were trying to touch base on earlier, this is not a in the breeze type of a thing. This is a serious direction that you're taking on this.
Serious beer.
Because if you were just trying to do the newest hip pale ale or whatever, you'd blow it out. It'd taste like garbage, and then you'd disappear in about a month.
And that's there's a lot of truth to this, and that is that the credibility is so important for everybody. Whether you're a gun guy, whether you're a craft beer guy, whether you're a domestic beer drinker, we wanted something for everybody.
Or whether you're a media guy.
Or a media
because
guy.
that's what Gear Challenge is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about credibility and due diligence.
And then enter Ken McMullen. He's just a fantastic brewer, and that's kind of how we ended up where we are today. One of the other things to talk about is the design of these cans. This took almost a year to get to this point. A little shout out, shameless plug here for Grunt Style. Grunt Style is who helped us, with this, as well as some other people a little bit beforehand.
Now, when you say the design, you're talking about the artwork, correct?
Yes, the artwork.
Yeah.
And the artwork was a painful process just because, we all have different opinions and our input is very different. So one of the cool things, of course, we all want everybody to always shoot responsibly. So make sure you shoot first before you drink beer. And then afterwards, save your empty so you can go shoot it the next time you're doing your target practice. Every can has basically has the, whatchamacallit, I can't spin that one, but it has the target on it.
Has a target on the back.
Yeah, and what's really interesting too is the stories about the beer, about what the beer is about. There's our little caption and story about what the beer is about, but then also our story about what the beer is, how it is, what's it made with. And one of the things that we are also very sticklers on is using the best ingredients. We use Scottish malts and grains, and so this is a high quality beer all together.
And I got Ken over there grinning. So you're using Scottish malts for this beer, Ken?
Simpson's malt.
Yeah.
Simpson's malt.
That's
okay.
a whole story that I'll let Lou tell you. But,
It's too long for this video.
Yeah, right. But
Well, just give me the snapshot. Yeah,
Simpsons is a really high quality Scottish malt, and it reflects in the beer.
Yeah.
When you taste the beer, you can tell if the ingredients are quality or not. We use sexy American hops especially for these.
I like that.
For the two, the APA and the red IPA.
Yeah.
You know, when these guys came to me, I've been a craft beer guy for a long time. And what I like about it is the industry is genuine. People are who they are. And this had the risk of really being a gimmicky thing, like with some crappy beer in there, but let's sell some beer to gun guys, right?
Yeah. Well, and when you glance at this, and I'm just talking about the end user, because quite frankly, that's what I am. I couldn't craft a beer, I couldn't build a firearm to say, well, maybe to save my life, but that's not what I am. I'm an end user. So when at a distance you look at it, oh wow, it's kitschy, it's whatever. Okay, Second Amendment. But to go to your point, I say 2 years that this is in the making. That's impressive.
It's also that the guys behind this have been in this business for what, 30 years?
Yeah.
So it's genuine.
Yeah. So now getting back to your point. So you got 30. How many years do you have of experience in crafting beer?
I've been brewing for 22 years.
22 years. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay.
These styles tie into their branding perfectly. So this super popular gun, Amber Ale, appeals to a wide range of people, just like this gun does.
Yep.
Well, some of us would say rifle or carbine.
Yep.
But I know you did say that you're not a firearms guy in your background. So and so I imagine with these guys you're going to get there real quick.
I'm learning.
You're going to get there quick, brother.
Like the FAL.
Yeah.
It's a black Belgian gun.
Yeah.
Right arm of the free world, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why it had to be a Belgian style.
Yeah, we got a Belgian style black ale. It's actually a really like a 4.6% beer.
Yep. Low alcohol.
Yeah, it's delicious, full flavored, but it ties in with the branding perfectly. The red IPA, nothing represents the American craft beer scene like a mishmash of styles, and that's what the red IPA is.
And that's what the red IPA is all about, right?
Well, and the red also represents the bloodshed for our second.
And we've got again, this is beer, and I understand that, but we've got a very respectful presentation on that artwork, and of course a very respectful presentation here in discussing it, right?
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Cheers again. So one thing I'm going to mention here, which is really important here, we just did our product launch in Illinois this past Friday the 13th, 2017, and here we are at SHOT Show doing our product launch here in Las Vegas, and it's just been amazing. I would like to put this out there for everyone that's going to see this video. Is we want to say thank you to everybody, because there were so many feel-good, pinch-me moments. I've lost count. And the way to stay connected with us, I want to put this out there too, is definitely follow us at Guncraft Beer, 3 separate words, on Facebook or Instagram, Guncraft Beer. And guncraftbeer.com is a new website. We're just developing it, so stay tuned there. You'll probably get most of your updates on Facebook and Instagram, and what I wanted to put out there is everybody wants to know where this beer is sold. That's the number one question. My social media, email, phone, everything's blown up the past 3 days, and it's been fantastic. Thank you for inquiring, and here's your answer. Right now, it's available in Illinois, and it's also available.
And as per our very confidential conversation, wink, wink, nod, nod, at Stu's place.
Oh yeah, there we
because
go.
you guys are going to be shipping me. Yeah, I think the agreement, the licensed agreement, not licensed, but the legal agreement is a case a week, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about normal consumption for Stu.
So
for me, what it is everybody wants to know where and when and how. Well, we're kind of asking those questions also.
Right.
So it's available in Las Vegas right now. It will probably be available still here in the Venetian and the Sands for a while, but we do have a deal with the distributor here that's going to handle Nevada and most likely California.
Beautiful.
So that's kind of the start, but more importantly, we're going to be trying to sell this online. So stay tuned to Facebook. We'll have details about that. Unfortunately, there's only 34 legal states that can actually receive alcohol online. So hopefully you're one of the lucky 34.
Yeah.
But other than that,
and that's a complicated. The firearms world. Firearms world, state to state, jurisdiction to jurisdiction is a complicated thing. It's very similar with alcohol, with spirits. with beer, with wine. It's a very, I mean, we could spend hours discussing that, and I don't want to, but to that point, just because you can't currently or in the near future obtain the beer that we're talking about now, your beer, does not mean it won't happen. It just means that there's a political, anyhow, there's things that have to happen.
You know, we're all tight in this industry, the firearm industry. We're all brothers and sisters, and you know, if you have a friend that lives in northern Illinois in the suburbs of Chicago or in Las Vegas, you know, hit up that friend. He'll be able to find your beer and he can ship it to you, you know, however he wants to ship it to you. That's none of my business. But anyways, you know.
You sound like one of my uncles.
Yeah, so
that's none of my business.
That's it. So, you know, if you know, it will be out there. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get it everywhere.
Right.
And most likely, we'll try and get it online sometime over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So just to put that out.
And that's dependent upon jurisdiction, state.
Yeah.
Now,
So
Ken, getting back to you were talking about the materials that go into the beers. Do you have anything that you'd like to add about that? Because I find it fascinating.
I think the hops are worth mentioning, especially in these two. The red IPA is Columbus, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops. Awesome American craft beer hops. Hard to get, expensive to get, but these guys wanted these to be the best beers they could be, and so we got them. The Tactical has Citra hops in it.
Citra hops, okay.
Big time grapefruit flavor in the finish on that. None of these beers are bitter. Even the hoppy ones, we backed off on bitterness and focused on flavor and aroma.
Right.
So they're delicious beers. We've got midnight wheat malt in this beer to make it black. The risk of using a heavily roasted barley is that the husk gets burnt and you get this acrid bitter character. It's good in some beers, it's good in porters and stouts, but we did not want that in here, so I used wheat.
Okay.
It's called Midnight Wheat Malt. One of the only malts that is not from Simpsons. This is from Breeze.
Yes.
Out of
From
Wisconsin.
where again?
Breeze malting out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
But it doesn't have a husk, so you don't get that burnt acrid. You get the nice dark and a little bit of the roast flavor, but you don't get that burnt acrid bitter.
They're very smoky, kind of a finish. And you got a lot of people that are kind of biased towards the darker beer. And, you know, they're like, oh, is that like motor oil? Is that heavy? Is it like Guinness? No, it is not.
That may be the lightest.
It's very light-bodied beer, and you'd be surprised. Most Belgian-style beers are not black or dark.
Right.
But again, like it's a black rifle, so it had to be a black beer.
So if it's
cheers
in
on that account.
Salute.
There you go.
Salute. So if it's in a glass, it's going to be dark, but you're not going to have what you would anticipate based on color. Is what you're saying, right? Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
So that's it. For the most part, you know, I wish my brother Dave was around. I don't know where he's at, but
you know what? I'll be real. When I talked to him over at Fabrique Nationale, he said he was on his way over. I said, okay, I'll talk to him just a few. Showed up, and I literally wasn't that far out of the wind. Out of the wind, and I'm sure you got distracted because I think he was depositing samples to a few colleagues of yours.
Nice, very nice. And
But-
he'll have a lot to add if you know. But you know, having the brewmaster right here is it's huge.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And Kent, I know you got to get jumping, and I know that because you've got a connection to make. And I just got a curious question. That sounds redundant, but there you go. What's the possibility of a DSA coming out with a line of cigars? Maybe a nice Maduro or something.
You know, it'd be like we have it all covered.
They would. ATF. Yeah, they'd be. You could go to any of the offices that way. Okay, something to think about. Just for what it's worth, just my input. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
Yep. Salute the red, white, and brew. Freedom you can taste.
There you go, brother. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Safe travels, Ken.
Thank you.
Lou, safe travels home.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.